GamingBolt presents hardest hack and slash games that will make your fingers bleed. You probably came to this list looking for some good fun games that won't frustrate you from the get-go. Turn back now because these hack and slash titles will beat you down. But seriously, history is full of truly difficult slashers that demand skill, reflexes, and a healthy dose of antidepressants to complete. Here are the hardest hack and slash games that will make your fingers bleed. Ninja Gaiden Black. 2 words, 1 word, Alma. Ninja Gaiden was already tough on its own, but the Black Edition, along with adding new enemies, also had the new Mastered Ninja difficulty. Alma is the first greater fiend you fight against, and while tough enough at base difficulty, she becomes near impossible in Master Ninja mode. Don't get us wrong though, the rest of Ninja Gaiden Black will still destroy you. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. When booting up Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance in 2013, you'll have quickly noticed how it did a bad job at explaining the mechanics. Even then, some of the most useful moves like parrying and counterattacking take some getting used to. Dodging also isn't unlocked by default, though it's relatively cheap to pick up. Finally, there's Zandatsu mode, which allows you to slice through enemies and take their red cores to replenish your health, but it's not an instant win button. Practice makes perfect in Revengeance, and you'll be practicing a lot. Ginma Onimusha. This was the Xbox port of Onimusha Warlords, but the difficulty has been ramped up significantly. Enemies respawn quicker, hit much harder, and that's not even taking into account what happens when they absorb the new green souls, and then there's a killer doll that chases you, forcing you to run. Then there's a tower full of 50 levels of tougher enemies. Castlevania III: Dracula's Curse. Why did the North American version of Castlevania III: Dracula's Curse have to be so tough? Take Dracula for instance. Not only do his first 2 forms do more damage, but stage-based damage also ensures that enemies in the final stages hit all the harder. Then there's the second quest mode, which not only buffed several enemies, but all stages have their damages set to max. Good luck surviving when only a handful of hits kill you. Nioh. Nioh's variety and sheer range of customization is awesome. Your enemies having stamina meters for combat is also awesome. That doesn't mean that you can't be two-shot into oblivion. Nioh further tests you by seeing how well you recover stamina or chi with each successful attack. Mess up and you can be in a lot of trouble. Couple this with Twilight missions and this is far from your most forgiving slasher. Hyper Light Drifter. The trippy 16-bit style visuals and old-school Zelda-esque exploration in Hyper Light Drifter masks some rather tough combat. Relying on dashing, connecting with shots, and knowing when to engage enemies with either a pistol or a shotgun is key. Don't get us started on the delays that occur when healing, providing ample opportunity for enemies to smite you. At least the game is generous with its checkpoints. Fury. Having personally experienced Fury on normal and easy, it's ridiculous to think how this game would be on Fury mode. Each boss has a set of patterns, with each phase becoming tougher and tougher. Thanks to the game's meshing of genres, you'll have to contend with bullet hell spams and twitch-based attacks in up-close duels. The later stages become especially egregious, and even if you inflict enough damage on a boss during a phase, messing up and losing a health bar will reset that phase completely. Yeesh. The Immortal. The Immortal is an interesting game. It's less twitch-based hack and slash, but requires ingenuity in its dungeon crawling. Not only are you a mere wizard who can go down quickly, but there are traps everywhere. If you don't know how to dodge and counter properly, it's game over. Did we mention no help or assistance at all from the game in any way? Chaos Legion. Chaos Legion is another one of those games that suffered a bump in difficulty with its Western release. Compared to the Japanese version, enemies do more damage and take less. Bosses have more health, more experience is needed to level up your legions, and some waves just keep spawning. Then there's Super Mode, a difficulty tier where enemies and you can die in one hit. Happy hunting. Shinobi 2002. Some hack and slash titles could qualify as cruel and unusual punishment. Sega's Shinobi on the PlayStation 2 is one such case. Despite some great controls and movement, Shinobi relies on you being pitch perfect with everything. No checkpoints here. If you die from one stupid jump in a platforming section, you have to restart the entire level. After the initial stages, the bosses become harrowingly tough. That's not to mention Hiroku, the end boss who simply throws waves upon waves of enemies at you. Red Ninja. What is it about ninjas and difficult games anyway? Red Ninja is different from Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi in that the combat isn't tough. Rather, the horrible camera makes platforming near impossible. Then again, all that talk of easy combat goes out the window when you fight Chiyomi, the final boss. From guessing which way you have to dodge to battling elite enemies, you simply can't catch a break at the finale. Ghosts and Goblins. Dodging? Nope. Attacking in only one direction while enemies can fire from all angles. Yep. Red Devils? Ugh. Ghosts and Goblins is yet another sadistically difficult game combining all manner of unfairness with archaic controls. You don't enjoy Ghosts and Goblins, you survive it. Gauntlet 2014. What list of difficult hack-and-slash games would be complete without a Gauntlet game? Gauntlet 2014 is especially tough because, well, it's a remake of the classic. Health is restored by chicken, which isn't available for everyone, and oftentimes, playing with a team is the ticket to survival. And how do you even play with the wizard anyways? Gauntlet is lovingly old school, but will test your patience more often than not. VOLGARR the Viking. Though more 2D side-scrolling platformer, VOLGARR the Viking still features some especially tough hack-and-slash combat. You also can't save. Dying will reset you to the current level's beginning. Quit out of the game and you start all over, though there is a portal of sorts in the first stage to transfer you back to the furthest stage reached. It also doesn't help that you can't take many hits either. And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.